So the reason I will not be playing in a PGA Tour event is due to the rules and regulations around media rights and filming during tournament play of a PGA Tour event.
Grant Horvat didn't mince words when he called out the PGA Tour for what he described as deliberate attempts to limit his access and silence his voice in the golf media landscape. The confrontation represents far more than a single creator's frustration. It's a flashpoint in the battle between traditional golf institutions clinging to broadcast exclusivity and digital personalities commanding millions of engaged viewers the tour desperately needs. With Horvat's YouTube channel pulling 8 to 12 million monthly views, while PGA Tour events outside the majors struggle to crack 2 million on network television, the stakes couldn't be higher for who controls golf's narrative moving forward. Horvat's primary YouTube channel generates approximately 1.2 million subscribers, with individual video views regularly exceeding 500,000 within the first week of upload, numbers that dwarf the PGA Tour's own YouTube presence despite their institutional advantages. The confrontation emerged after Horvat detailed restrictions placed on content creators attempting to film at PGA Tour events, citing denied media credentials, limited course access windows, and what he characterized as preferential treatment for traditional broadcast partners at the expense of independent digital media. CBS and NBC maintain exclusive live broadcast rights through deals worth approximately $700 million annually, but their viewership for regular season events has declined roughly 15 to 20% over the past 3 seasons when compared to 2019 to 2020 numbers, with audiences skewing dramatically older. The average PGA Tour broadcast viewer age sits around 64 years old according to Nielsen data. The immediate response across social media showed striking division along generational lines. Horvat's comments generated over 2.3 million impressions on Twitter within 48 hours, with engagement rates nearly triple what typical PGA Tour official announcements receive. Equipment manufacturers who sponsor both tour professionals and digital creators found themselves in awkward positions. Callaway, TaylorMade, and Titleist all maintain multi-million-dollar partnerships with tour players while simultaneously running influencer campaigns with personalities like Horvat, Good Golf, and the broader creator economy. The tension became undeniable when several tour professionals privately messaged support to Horvat while publicly remaining silent, afraid of jeopardizing their own standing with tour officials who control everything from sponsor exemptions to President's Cup selections. What makes this confrontation particularly significant is the business model collision it represents. The PGA Tour operates on a structure built around protecting traditional media partners, who paid enormous sums for exclusive access. Their entire revenue model depends on CBS, NBC, and ESPN, plus feeling their investments are protected from digital competition that could fragment audiences. Yet those same broadcast partners are hemorrhaging younger viewers, who've migrated almost entirely to YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram for golf content. When the Masters draws 12 to 15 million viewers on CBS, it's an outlier, driven by tradition and Tiger Woods' presence. Regular tour stops like the Shriners Children's Open or the Butterfield Bermuda Championship barely register 1.2 to 1.5 million viewers, even during final round coverage, despite featuring top-ranked players. Horvat's frustration centers on what he sees as the tour's refusal to acknowledge reality. Digital creators are bringing new, younger audiences to golf in ways traditional broadcasts simply cannot. His videos featuring amateur competitions, course vlogs with tour pros, and behind-the-scenes access at major venues routinely outperform official PGA Tour content by margins of 3 to 1 or higher in the crucial 18 to 34 demographic. Equipment companies noticed this shift years ago, which is why marketing budgets have steadily migrated toward influencer partnerships. TaylorMade's investment in creator content increased by an estimated 40% between 2022 and 2024, while their traditional tour player advertising spend remained flat. The broader implications extend far beyond one creator's access credentials. Golf viewership among viewers under 40 has cratered on traditional television, dropping nearly 30% since 2015, according to Sports Business Journal tracking data. Meanwhile, YouTube golf content has exploded, The Good Golf Collective alone commands over 3 million subscribers across their channels, with their videos consistently pulling higher engagement numbers than all but the 4 major championships. Stroke play competitions filmed by creators regularly generate 800,000 to 1.5 million views, demonstrating appetite for golf content that traditional broadcasts aren't capturing. The PGA Tour faces an existential question about its future audience. Current broadcast deals expire between 2027 and 2030, and renewal negotiations will depend heavily on proving they can deliver younger demographics advertisers actually want to reach. Right now, those viewers are watching Horvat film rounds at Pebble Beach with friends, not tuning in to Thursday-Friday coverage of the Sanderson Farms Championship. This creates a paradox where the tour must protect existing broadcast partners to maintain current revenue, while simultaneously alienating the digital creators who could help deliver the next generation of fans those same partners will demand for contract renewals.
Sponsorship dynamics have shifted dramatically in response. 5 years ago, a PGA Tour card virtually guaranteed equipment and apparel deals worth $200,000 to $500,000 annually for players ranked 50 to 125 in the world. Today, equipment companies increasingly evaluate total reach rather than just tour status. A creator with 800,000 engaged subscribers can command deals comparable to tour players ranked in the 70s or 80s, sometimes higher when factoring in guaranteed content deliverables and audience demographics. Callaway's partnership with Good Golf reportedly involves 7 figures annually, rivaling deals they maintain with players outside the top 30 in the world rankings. The tension affects tournament economics as well. Courses that host creator content see measurable tourism impacts. Bandon Dunes reported a 25% increase in booking inquiries following Good's visit and multi-episode series filmed at their properties. Traditional PGA Tour stops generate local economic impact during tournament week, but creator content produces ongoing interest that drives destination golf travel year-round. Tournament directors have begun reaching out to digital personalities for course features, creating awkward dynamics with tour officials who simultaneously restrict those same creators' access to tour events themselves. Golf's media evolution mirrors similar battles across professional sports, though with unique complications. The NBA initially resisted player-driven social media content before recognizing that LeBron James's Instagram following and content creation actually enhance league interest rather than competing with it. The NFL gradually embraced behind-the-scenes player content after realizing younger audiences wanted personality-driven narratives beyond traditional highlight packages. Both leagues eventually structured programs allowing player content while protecting broadcast partners. The PGA Tour has been slower and more restrictive in adapting similar frameworks. Historical parallels within golf reveal this isn't the first institutional resistance to media evolution. When Tiger Woods emerged in the late 1990s, his dominance and charisma drove unprecedented viewership growth. The 2000 U.S. Open final round drew over 20 million viewers, numbers that seem almost impossible today. The tour assumed that level of mainstream interest would persist, building media deals around expectations that never materialized post-Tiger's prime. They're now paying for that miscalculation as deals negotiated in 2013 to 2014 assume viewership floors that no longer exist outside major championships. The creator economy offers a completely different model, where traditional broadcasts require massive production infrastructure, union crews, satellite trucks, and network distribution. Digital creators operate with 3-person teams, mirrorless cameras, and direct-to-audience distribution through YouTube's infrastructure. This efficiency means profitability at much lower audience thresholds. Horvat's channel likely generates $30,000 to $60,000 monthly from YouTube ad revenue alone before factoring in sponsorships, with production costs a fraction of what traditional media requires. That economic model threatens broadcast partners who need 1.5 to 2 million viewers minimum to justify production expenses and advertising rates.
Horvat's subscriber base of 1.2 million represents a highly engaged audience. His average view duration exceeds 12 minutes per video, dramatically higher than social media norms and indicating genuine interest rather than passive scrolling. YouTube's advertising revenue sharing means channels of his size generate estimated annual revenue between $400,000 to $700,000 from platform monetization alone. When factoring in direct sponsorships from equipment companies, apparel brands, and course partnerships, top golf creators earn comparable income to tour players ranked 80 to 120 in season earnings, without the travel expenses, entry fees, or performance pressure that comes with competitive golf. Equipment partnerships have become particularly lucrative, where tour players receive free equipment plus cash bonuses tied to usage and performance. Creators often negotiate flat fees for product integration across content calendars. A deal requiring one tailor-made driver review video and ongoing course vlog appearances with their equipment might command $50,000 to $100,000 annually for established creators. Guaranteed money regardless of performance. These deals also allow creators to maintain authenticity by rotating equipment and providing genuine reviews, which audiences value more highly than tour pros who contractually must use specific brands regardless of fit. The PGA Tour's own digital presence struggles by comparison. Their YouTube channel holds approximately 1.8 million subscribers, but generates relatively low engagement. Most videos receive 50,000 to 200,000 views, despite institutional advantages and access to every tour event. The content skews heavily toward highlight packages and player interviews that feel sanitized and corporate compared to creator content showing personality, humor, and authentic golf experiences. This gap reveals the fundamental disconnect. The tour thinks audiences want perfectly produced highlight reels when they actually want personality-driven narratives and relatable content.
Course access represents another economic angle. Premier golf destinations now actively court digital creators because the ROI is measurable and sustained. A Good series filmed at Whistling Straits generated millions of views across multiple episodes, driving booking interest months after the content aired. Traditional PGA Championship coverage at the same venue created a one-week spike before fading from public consciousness. Facility operators increasingly recognize that creator content serves as evergreen marketing that drives revenue long after filming, making them willing to provide access that competes with traditional tour events for calendar positioning. The confrontation between Horvat and the PGA Tour previews an inevitable reckoning about golf's media future. Within 3 to 5 years, traditional broadcast deals will require renegotiation at exactly the moment when viewership trends make current valuations unsustainable. CBS and NBC will demand proof that the tour can deliver younger demographics before committing similar money. Yet the tour's current approach of restricting creator access actively prevents building those audiences. This creates a vicious cycle where protecting current partners undermines the ability to deliver what future partners will require. Several scenarios could emerge. The tour might eventually establish a creator credential program with specific content guidelines, allowing access while protecting broadcast exclusivity during live competition windows. This would mirror NBA and NFL approaches where player content is encouraged but structured around existing media rights. Alternatively, the tour could maintain restrictive policies and watch creators increasingly focus on non-tour content, amateur competitions, course reviews, and international golf that builds audience interest outside tour control. The risk in the second scenario is creating an entire generation of golf fans who engage deeply with the sport while viewing the PGA Tour itself as irrelevant to their interest. LV Golf's approach offers an interesting contrast. Despite controversial Saudi backing, LIV is proven more welcoming to digital creators and social media content, recognizing they need every available avenue to build audience interest against the established tour. Several live events have actively credentialed YouTube personalities and encouraged behind-the-scenes content creation in ways the PGA Tour hasn't matched. If live successfully builds younger viewership through creator partnerships while the tour maintains restrictive policies, it could shift competitive dynamics in unexpected ways regardless of player talent levels.
The talent pipeline faces disruption as well. Aspiring professionals increasingly recognize that building a social media following provides income security and opportunities independent of tour success. Players who might have previously devoted every resource toward earning a tour card now split focus between competitive golf and content creation, knowing that 500,000 YouTube subscribers provides more financial stability than struggling at the Korn Ferry Tour level. This shift could affect talent development and the future depth of professional fields. Grant Horvat's confrontation with the PGA Tour forces an unavoidable question. Can golf's traditional power structure afford to alienate the very personalities bringing millions of young fans to the sport? The answer increasingly appears to be no. Yet institutional inertia and contractual obligations to broadcast partners make rapid adaptation difficult. The tour finds itself trapped between protecting revenue sources built on an aging audience model and embracing the digital future that might cannibalize those existing relationships before new ones fully mature. What's certain is that the current approach, restricting creator access while viewership declines and digital content thrives, proves unsustainable long-term. The real debate isn't whether golf media will evolve, but whether the PGA Tour will lead that evolution or become a victim of it. Can traditional institutions and digital creators coexist and mutually benefit? Or does protecting one inherently undermine the other? And perhaps most importantly, who should decide golf's media future? The organizations that built the sport? Or the audiences actively choosing where to invest their attention? The next 5 years will answer those questions, whether the tour is ready or not.